Peace, family. I want to have a conversation here. I'm here at my homie Red's house, and we was actually conversing about the rappers that's been getting killed. And my brother was asking me, "Do you think that some of these things is like a blood sacrifice?" And I was saying that I wouldn't rule it out. I'm not sure, but I know it's some fishy stuff going on in the water. Something in the air stinks. But before I get to that, I want to briefly talk about temperament, our temperament as black men and black sisters in the way that we deal with each other and address each other. Sometimes, man, in family and loved ones, we tend to get upset with each other. We tend to, things sometimes tend to get testy. But as we begin to grow and excel to a higher level of consciousness, as we begin to discover ourselves and understand who we are within this reality, is there are things that we have to pay attention to the way we deal with conflicts and conflict resolution. The type of person that I used to be a very angry person. They used to call me the Militant Midget, the Napoleon complex guy. I was very angry. I was violent towards men, women, whoever. And I didn't know how. I was young. I was immature. With my anger, and I didn't know how to channel that energy in a positive way to get a different outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes when we're upset, we have to be very mindful, man, of our loved ones and the people we around, and be careful with the things that you say out your mouth and what you say to people, because you may say something to somebody and don't be mad no more, but when you put negative things out to the universe, you can't take that stuff back, and you cannot tell a person how they should take that,
mm-hmm.
how they should take it. So when you love somebody, if I love my wife and my wife does something to make me mad, I can't say, "Bitch, I'm gonna kick your ass, I'm gonna kill you," because when I'm not mad no more, I really didn't mean that, and I said that stuff out of anger. You have to be very careful and deal with loved ones with delicacy. Delicate.
You mentioned something earlier about the tongue.
Yeah.
And the Most High.
Yeah, you have to fear God. You have to fear God with your tongue, man.
There it is.
Man, the tongue can be dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
The tongue can be uplifting. The tongue can be gratifying. The tongue can give you divine wisdom, but the tongue can also be destructive.
Mm-hmm.
The tongue, you'd be surprised what you say out of your mouth. Words become things, and they become things in the minds of people when you inject negativity in the minds of the people out of anger. You'd be surprised what you can get a person to do, or how you may make a person feel. You got to be very careful with that. And because we have a lot of hurt people in our communities, hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is. We have a lot of people hurt. A lot of our people are hurting. And if you're having a bad day, like if I'm having a bad day, I can't come home and if my kids or my wife do something, just take everything out on them. They had nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
We have to learn how to channel our energy in the right way. We have to practice meditation. We have to practice a proper diet. Be careful what you watch on TV. Be careful the music you listening to. Be careful with the company that you keep. You have to be very careful of the things that you downloaded into your imagination, mind, and desires. Because what you manifest could be catastrophic or destructive. And you'll walk around blaming everybody else, but the real blame is on you. It's what you download into your mind. We have to be very careful. We have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of these things. Like, I had an incident with one of my brothers that I love in the barbershop. Mm-hmm. And the brother was having a bad day.
Mm-hmm. You talking about me, y'all?
Yeah. And the brother was having a bad day. And he was going off the rails. And it wasn't really per se at me. It was just at everybody in there. But I basically absorbed it and took it for everybody.
Right.
Total. And I had to stand up to him because we both are masculine men and hyper masculine. But I'm gonna tell you guys something. As black men, our masculinity is not in how good we can fight, how good we can shoot. Our masculinity is our ability to observe our surroundings and become problem solvers.
Mm-hmm.
Our masculinity is our ability to protect, direct, and correct our women and our children and our communities. My masculinity ain't because I shot this many niggas, or I've been locked up this many times, or I'm known for carrying this gun, or I can beat these niggas, or I got the biggest dick on the block.
Mm-hmm.
That's not masculinity.
Right. So when you saw your brother getting like angry, you stepped up and just corrected him and said, "Hey, bro, come here for a minute."
I had to step up and correct him. And guess what? We may have even got into a little tussle, but I was willing to do that to bring him back.
Right. Well, you walk around with no fear anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't have no fear to bring him back. Because the thing is, like in the Bible and with Christian, remember we were young and grandmama, you hear the pastor say you got to stay prayed up.
Mm-hmm.
Because even with all the knowledge you know, man, Satan is still lurking.
All day long.
So you have to constantly keep dying to the old stuff to resurrect the new stuff up in Zion. Mm-hmm. You have to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And we have to keep reminding yourself because the world wants to suck you back in.
Mm-hmm. It only take a second to mess up.
That's all it takes. See, when you know who you are, remember I told you this thing is like Jumanji.
Mm-hmm.
Remember what I told you? I said put the joystick down. See, we keep trying to play the game. And we're not here to play the game. We're here to observe and experience. If you put the game down, the game gonna still keep playing on its own.
Right.
But you don't even know that because you're too busy trying to win the game.
Yeah, trying to physically play it.
Just put the joystick down and step outside the circle and look at it.
Mm-hmm.
So now when anger shows up, you can see it now with both your eyes. And say, nah, I'm good, man. I ain't messing with that. Now you're in control of your ego. But when you don't recognize anger, when you don't recognize sexual perversion, when you don't recognize just all these different things that would be catastrophic to you, it's easy for it to commandeer your desires. Mm-hmm. Now you're imagining and thinking of things that would feel good to you, but not good for you.
Like low vibe stuff. So in digression, with the rappers being shot and killed and the vibe on music, like the
music, again, is a direct reflection of the communities that we come from.
Okay.
So we can look at the music, but we're conditioned to look at the music, but not the communities.
Right.
When you live in places like East St. Louis,
mm-hmm.
South and West Side of Chicago, East and West Baltimore, the Bronx, Brooklyn, mm-hmm. Philadelphia, 438 homicides and counting, South Atlanta, Newark, New Jersey. Let's look at the culture that's within the black community. Mm-hmm. Now, does that represent the whole of all the black community? No. But there's a segment in the black community that's conditioned to celebrate dysfunction. Mm-hmm. And then because we are conditioned to celebrate dysfunction, we manifest it in our music, our lifestyles. We have a lot of women having unprotected sex with men that don't even deserve to even be near a woman. Mm-hmm. A lot of boys are taught to not have standards and run around and spill there forever everywhere because you have the gift of forever inside of you that you put into a woman and she gives birth to forever. Mm-hmm. We spill our forever everywhere because we're never taught to how to harness that energy.
Right.
So we have dysfunction and it comes out in the music. So now in that music, you have other groups which I call heathens that benefits economically mm-hmm. off the psychological, physical, mental destruction of God's children.
Right. Yeah, through the program of like death music, shoot 'em up, or spin the block. Yeah.
And see, because before we had rap music, we was in the 70s, we was shooting them up. Mm-hmm. They was gang banging and gang warring.
Right.
So it's not the rap music. Mm-hmm. It's the culture. Mm-hmm. You had Pimps back in the day. You had Freddie's Dead and all that 71, Superfly, mm-hmm. all that. Chicago 1974 had 980 homicides. Philadelphia had 605. Mm. The rap music wasn't out yet.
How about that?
There was no rap music. It's the destructive culture. That's why it says in Psalms, it says, you mingle and dwell amongst the heathen and learn their ways. Mm. So we're not heathens, but we behave like the heathens that we've been conditioned to dwell amongst.
Right.
We have to learn. We have to learn to step outside and judge the heathen in thy sight. Mm-hmm. We have to judge the heathen. Not learn and practice his ways. So when you see these young rappers being shot, some would say it's a blood sacrifice. Some would say it's a conspiracy going on. What I do know is they're being shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're being shot because our minds is commandeered. Mm-hmm. We're conditioned to dream of destructive things. We dream of fucking another man's woman, coveting another man's wife. Mm-hmm. We dream of getting money and stunting on your brother. You got everything and he has nothing. Mm-hmm. We dream and celebrate stepping down on another brother. Sisters dream of talking down on another sister, not having a sisterhood. Wow. We're the only community that celebrates that, and other groups get actually paid, economically paid from it. So now you see in the so-called Black Lives Matter movement and black people going through all kinds of atrocities all across America, black male rappers are being gunned down. But at the same time, black men are being gunned down in all these respective cities across America.
Mm-hmm.
Because we took on the ways of the heathen. We're not heathens. Mm-hmm. But I have to do these videos to wake us up, to let us know who we are. See, the thing is, we've been knocked in the head and robbed of a thorough knowledge of stuff, so we don't know who we are. Mm-hmm. We don't know who we are.
And given a culture that's not part of us. Culture meaning behavior.
And that's why we act out in the manner in which we do act out. So now you say, okay, King Von, rest in peace to his family, rest in peace to his mother, his father. I can never imagine what it's like to actually have a child murdered. Rest in peace to FBG Duck. Rest in peace to Mo 3, the young brother that was killed in Dallas on the highway. Broad daylight, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. When you kill a black man, you kill a whole generation.
Definitely.
You kill. I mean, this man may have had children. He had loved ones, people that cared about him. But then that shooter also have a mother, also have family members and people that cared about him. So they just knocked them all out with one wipe. Mm-hmm. Get him out the way, the shooter. So now he's dead, and they got a warehouse for the shooter. They gonna warehouse bodies like they've been doing. Like your daddies, like our daddies, since the 90s, the 80s, they've been locking us up, warehousing us. From 86 to 1990, they had a 4-year run of the crack era. 85 to 90. 1990, they did a countrywide sweep. Look at the numbers. 1989 to 1990, Memphis, Tennessee, Philadelphia, New York City, Los Angeles. I can name, they was locking everybody up, giving them major time. That's when the drug dealers, when crack hit in 85, around late 88 to 1990, they put them all in jail. And then you had another run from 90 to 95, they came and got all us. They came and get everybody. Sweet, they give you 3-4 year run, they give you 30 years. They lock everybody up. So now a lot of these black men, which is our fathers and our uncles that's been in jail since 1989 and are now 60, are coming home. They cutting their sentences short. You see these guys, what's the brother from New York City that just came home, Unique Mecca Audio. He had a life sentence. He did 26 years. He in his late 50s. They just let him out. Mm-hmm. They just let him out because they cutting the warehouse short to get ready for you young niggas. I'm speaking in the language y'all understand. You young niggas. I don't like to call you niggas, but this is the way y'all talk. So this right, when I speak in this type of vernacular, you guys are turning your head and listen. They creating the beds for you. They making room. So a lot of the big homies and legends that y'all got on the wall, that y'all like to talk about in your music, the dudes that was getting the 200 keys a month, they letting him out. And while he's coming out, you're going in for the next 45 years.
And guess what? The one coming out is 60 plus, so he's out the way. Remember you said that earlier in the shop? And then the young guy, where he's in his prime.
Yeah, they taking you prime bulls.
Right out the game. Right
out the game, just like they did our uncles. Because them guys went to jail at 25, 26, 30 years old. Young, strong men with a 2, 3, 4 year run. Mm-hmm. Locked them away forever. And now they cutting their sentences. A lot of the JBM, Craig Haynes crew, and all the crews of Philadelphia, they letting them out of jail. A lot of brothers in New York City, they letting them out of jail. They just let, what's the guy from the council that bought the Apollo? Some of you guys watching, I can't even say, I'm picturing his face. Guy Fisher. They just let Guy Fisher out after 36 years, right? He's out of jail. He had a life sentence. They cut his sentence. Frank James is coming next. All of them, they letting them all out because they making room for you. So what I'm saying is, I believe that they're attempting to ban rap and use a genre for the white kids because they're going to say that this music now all of a sudden is a detriment to black society. Black Lives Matter. This other groups can hear this music and don't take it seriously. But for black culture, but I'm going somewhere with this. Watch this. But for black culture, when we make the music, we actually act it out because that music comes from the culture that we was living. Right. The gangster rap came from gang banging, West Coast gang banging, East Coast drug dealing. Coogee Rap and Just Ice and the home against the rap, Philadelphia, Schoolie D, Parkside 5-2, PSK's making that green, Parkside Killers. Right. He was talking that shit in 85. EST, Ice-T, all of those different rappers created this so-called genre of music of speaking about urban events and putting it in music.
Mm-hmm.
Then the younger generation came and took it to a more murderous level. So you look at the mid-90s, it was unbelievable, on fire.
Mm-hmm.
But all of it was an expression of what we was going through in the communities that we came from.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those guys was good observers and they could just rap. So they was giving you a play-by-play story of what was happening in the hoods that we came from.
Facts.
Now, these kids, but back in the day, rappers wasn't being murdered like that.
True.
Now, all of a sudden, you got all these rappers being murdered because you don't have the record labels like you used to. Anybody could just now make up some music, put it on Spotify, and come out. So now, some of these kids that's gangbanging in different cities, most of them can't rap, but some of them can. So now they're rapping, but they're still involved in the street stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas so back in the day, a lot of the rappers wasn't involved in the street stuff. A lot of the gangsters was putting the money behind the rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, these young kids is just, they rapping and wilding out. They don't got no old heads and big homies.
Yeah, no sponsor.
Yeah, no sponsor, no old heads, no big homies. It's just yard out. They doing whatever. Mm-hmm. So now you see a Benny the Butcher be shot yesterday in Houston with $500,000 worth of jewelry on at a Walmart. I'm not too sure if I believe that, Riz. I need to see the fucking footage of that.
Right.
I mean, he's in Walmart. I'm not sure.
Right. It's fishy.
Yeah, it's fishy. Now you see the Boosie protege being shot in the back of the head. Where they say he was shot in the back of the head a year before, and he lived. So now he's shot. But then Boosie drives the Dallas, and now his Sprinter van is shot up. Right?
Mm.
I mean, you got Freeway's son being gunned down 2 weeks ago here in Philadelphia. I mean, a rapper in Virginia, they said, was found in the trunk. I remember Jimmy Wapo in Virginia in Pittsburgh was killed last year. Gunned down. So I'm seeing a pattern of something that's happening too much to the point where now I'm in my spiritual eye.
Mm-hmm.
Not the physical eye, what I see within the conditioned mind of the physical world.
Right.
I stepped out of that and went into the spiritual eye, and I'm saying, wait a minute. I'm seeing something that in the physical I wouldn't be able to see. Because now I'm looking at it through a spiritual lens.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saying the heathen is up to something.
Yeah.
The heathen is ready to use this as a springboard to push laws to actually further incriminate black people.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to propagate this stuff all over the goddamn media to get America. Oh, we got to do something with these rappers. These rappers are the vein of existence. Where in rap music, gangster rap is one thing, but when I watched the show 24, man, with the white boy Keith, was it Keith Sutherland?
Yeah.
Or the show 24?
Keith
Man,
Sutherland.
they blowing up shit, murking my, man, you know what's funny? That's one of my favorite shows on TV. I be watching that shit like, goddamn.
Yeah. Yep.
But that get me more riled up than rap music.
Right. Ain't that something?
The stuff they put in movies.
John Wick and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
John Wick, the stuff they put in movies. John Wick can go and kill 1,600 people inside a building, but you rooting for him at the end. You don't want him to get killed. But he just murdered like 75 people.
That's crazy.
See the mind fuck that they do?
That's magic.
Yeah, it's mad. That's why I said you got to be like Shaw. And you got to put on your titanium helmets from the warlock spells and the elements.
Mm.
I'm going to say it again. You got to put on your titanium helmets to protect you from the warlock spells and the elements, man. That's K-Reno.
Yeah.
You got to make sure that you don't let Xavier into your mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Come on, man. So we gotta really look at what's at play here. They're looking to pass laws because remember now, we're in an automation period now. They don't need bodies like they used to.
Right.
They don't need the nuclear family.
Mm-hmm.
They don't need that no more. That's why they pushing.
Yeah, explain the nuclear family until now.
Yeah, well, mom and dad, children, family matters.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Urkel, Laura, the son, Carl, big guy.
Yeah, so they needed bodies for the industrial.
Now, but I'm saying what they did. You need families, man and woman, producing children. So in order to do that, we need to produce shows. Family Matters, Who's the Boss, Cosby Show, My Wife and Kids,
Family Ties.
Family Ties. All of these shows that's downloading in your mind man, woman, children.
Mm-hmm.
Right? manifesting that reality. When I grow up and I get married, that's what children are saying. When I grow up, I get married. They need you to produce bodies because they need bodies in warehouses. Mm-hmm. They need bodies in the so-called industrial movement of that time. Mm-hmm. Now with everything going automation, they don't need the bodies. So now they pushing LGBT, right?
So depopulation.
Depopulate, right. Now they pushing LGBT, gender wars.
Right. Feminism.
Man against man, woman against woman, children against family.
Right.
Death, destruction, despair, separation. But the way you do it is 30 years prior, you cause a crack era. And you destroy and wipe out the whole aspect of a family. And don't get it twisted. It did it to the white family as well.
They wasn't immune.
They was not immune, but they created this false illusion to make you think that the white side was just leave it to beaver bullshit. White picket fences, no, they was affected by it too, because some of our biggest customers was white folks, especially growing up in Southwest Philly.
Right.
So we have to understand the dynamics of what's going on, what they did, and what you see now, because what happened yesterday is a direct reflection of what's happening now and where we're going tomorrow. So now, what I'm saying is when you had that family, the crack era began to destroy families. Then you had the aftermath of it. So now it's easy to come in and create a gender war, uplift LGBT rights, right? And disclaimer, if you black and you gay, I'm black first. I don't have no problem with you. I don't have nothing against you. I disagree with homosexuality big time, but I love you. You my people. If you are black and you're black first and you're gay, you're still my people.
Right.
I still love you. I can't speak for other people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not into gay bashing or the homophobic thing. I just don't do the gay thing.
Right.
But I don't have a right to harm you because you're gay or enact violence. I don't believe in that. Right. That's not how I get down. Because I can't ungay you. That's just what you are.
Exactly.
Fall in line and let's still fight this fight together.
Right.
But just know you black first. LGBT shit ain't for you. That's an agenda created by the heathen in order to dislodge any glimpse of a thought of what's the word I'm looking for? Any functionality within the communities. They want dysfunction.
Big time.
They want dysfunction. They want to promote dysfunction. Like I said, they want gender wars. Black women hate the black man and black men hate the black woman. Nobody wants to get married. It's not incentivized to be married in America no more.
Yeah, you know, marriage is ending with 50% divorce and don't get married. Like they really put, before it was a baby boom, like you mentioned, and it was, get married. Now it's like, it's 50% divorce rate. Nah, don't get married.
Don't get married. So now, what does all this mean, George? Well, what this means when you see young 26, 25, 24, 20-year-old black men out gunning each other down, this is a direct byproduct of the destroyed family.
Wow.
The destroyed family. It's all is a design. But what you see is part of a 30 and 40-year plan being enacted. So now while you walking around being a part of a gender war, while you walking around being part of a LGBT community, while you walking around being part of so-called immigrant rights and everything else, and not for your people, the house is burning on fire. The house is burning on fire. They got you. So now, this is the thing. I'll end it with this. This is the thing. We say we all caught up in this gender war, right? But we still having sex with each other. Producing unwanted babies. Producing unprepared responsibilities. What do you think you want to manifest from that?
Yeah, destruction, negativity.
What you see happening, 26-year-old boys blowing each other away without a care in the world, going straight to the grave. Black boys dying, black mothers crying, black men in the wind, because all he wanted to do was just wet his beak. But he dropped the seed and was never there to provide sunlight, water.
Right.
And watch it grow. Because he wasn't ready. He didn't have the standards. So when you look at these dead rappers, rest in peace to them. But it's going to continue to happen over and over again until we begin to take responsibility for what we see in our communities, man. Man, listen. Boosie shot in the leg. Now, I'm not going to really get spooky and into the conspiracy stuff. I mean, because it could be, but where I'm at in Philadelphia, niggas is getting killed every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna keep it on that. Now, if I see something that me and Riz gotta go live, some spooky shit, and we gotta go live and bring it to you, we'll come and bring it to you.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, niggas is getting shot. It's still recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, niggas is getting shot. They blowing each other away. And it could be your son tomorrow. It could be your son tonight. You know, we all got a responsibility to each other.
Yo, you always say something, right? Now turn your logo toward me a little bit. You said, would you rather your son be an urban nerd or an urban shooter, right?
Yeah, which one you want? You want urban shooters or you want urban nerds?
Right.
I used to be an urban shooter. I changed my life around, man. All praise due to the Most High, man.
Yeah.
I'm an urban nerd. Put that on my son. Let him see my son. My responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my responsibility is to him.
Mm-hmm.
To him. I bear witness to something greater than myself. Now. So you young men, all you young men, when you walking around with the seed of forever inside of you, and you put that in a woman, are you ready to bear witness to something greater than yourself? Or are you so caught up in the world that you don't even understand the power you have? And you relinquishing your power over to the world and letting the world consume you and swallow you up. You're giving all your power over to the heathens. The parasitic elite, they sucking everything about you. Because you desire to have all that jewelry on. And
Right.
When Mo 3 died, he died in all that jewelry. He can't take that with him. When King Von was slaughtered in the street that night, his friends went to his house and stole all his stuff.
People went in his pockets too, bro.
Material items that don't mean nothing.
Yeah. His friends went to his home and stole all his things, bro.
Material items. It's all material.
That's crazy.
Worldly possessions.
I seen people get in rollover car accidents to be laid out on the street, and people will walk up and start to go in their pockets and steal stuff out their car, and not render aid.
Yes.
That's terrible, bro.
Because it's the conditioned mind. Your condition, you mingle among the heathen, so you behave like them.
That's the most heathen
We're
stuff
supposed to separate the heathen from thy sight, and then question them in thy sight.
Mm-hmm.
Hold them accountable.
Facts.
We're not supposed to be dwelled amongst them. We was dwelled amongst them as punishment. Now we're supposed to wake up and separate ourselves, meaning not always physically but psychologically. I'm not like you.
Right.
Fuck your jury.
Mm-hmm.
If for me to get this Mercedes, I gotta bend over, or I gotta do some compromising things to another black man in order for me to get it. Is it really worth it?
Right.
Just think, black man. You going around and you rapping from city to city. You talking gangster stuff. You bringing death, destruction, and despair energy to you.
Mm-hmm.
You're chanting death. You're calling death. You're calling it out.
Death music.
So it's coming to you. It's coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to change the way you think, man.
Yeah.
We have to change the way we think, man, to get a better outcome. I don't want to see another young black brother. And a lot of you old rappers, a lot of you old bastards, a lot of you old devils, a lot of you old niggas that done sold your soul. Where y'all at? I ain't heard a goddamn peep. You can't rap piss on cotton. Because Master told you niggas to shut up. Mm-hmm. Y'all ain't came out and said a word.
I know. A
lot of these young rappers look up to y'all. Y'all ain't came out and got in front of this yet. Nobody said nothing. We know why. Because the magician is waving his wand. And he got you hypnotized, mesmerized by his eloquent voice. One sweet kiss from his candy-coated lips, you niggas was stuck. Oh. And you niggas was stuck in his loveness. He got all you niggas caught up in this web.
Yeah.
With his cunning ability to speak material wealth into your life.
Mm-hmm. You
desire to have it. He got all you niggas sitting on death row right now, psychologically, and y'all don't even know it. You happy because you riding in your car, but you miserable. A lot of these guys be committing suicide and all kinds of things. You're miserable. Mm-hmm. And you sitting on the sideline watching these kids blow each other away. When all you got to do is just stand up and say something. Go into these respective cities, man, and get some summits and bring these young guys together, man. Bring these young guys together. Do something. Mm-hmm. I mean, enough is enough, man. I mean, bad enough. We already had murders in the streets everywhere, but now the actual rappers that people are looking up to, they're doing it now. So now it's just being pushed into the mainstream even more. But end with this last 3 minutes. the way that they're pushing it, the media is promoting the black community a certain way. So groups that's not around the black community, that's how they view us.
Mm-hmm.
So now you gotta remember, Black Lives Matter was out. See, y'all gotta pay attention. See, because I teach in the 360. I'm ending it with this. Black Lives Matter was out. And they was conditioning other groups to be sensitive towards black people's needs. Now what they putting on TV everywhere. Because see, remember, these shootings are not just happening in the hood. When FBG Duck was killed, he was killed in the downtown district of Chicago. High-end stores, right? Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Let's step back for a minute and let's think. Let's pause. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10-second pause. So now I'm in your brain because I want you to erase everything that was in your head. I want you to hear me. When he was killed in that downtown district, not on the south side of Chicago, the west side of Chicago, that's letting white people know or other ethnic groups that's not from your hood that the violence can come to where you at. So now they're countering Black Lives Matter. See, because forget the Black Lives Matter George Soros thing. Black lives supposed to matter. So they're countering that idea of Black Lives Matter by promoting these rappers being shot all over TV. And it's happening on the highway. Mm-hmm. Not in the hood in Oak Cliff in the projects.
Right.
On the highway in the busy intersection where anybody can be shot. Mm-hmm. So they're saying this black culture, these black people, their things are spilling out into our way of life.
Right.
Are y'all really getting this?
Too close to their home.
Little Boosie leaves his home in Atlanta and goes to Dallas and he's shot. Are y'all really understanding this? King Vaughn is shot in the downtown district of Atlanta outside of a nightclub, not in the hood. Mm-hmm. So what they're telling you is, y'all have to think. What they're telling you is, this culture of these blacks is bringing their culture, their dangerous, demonic culture over to us. We should be afraid. Mm-hmm. I thought that Black Lives Matter, so now they're trying to change the mindset of white people back to the normalized way that they viewed us. Mm-hmm. Y'all got to pay attention.
Yeah.
Y'all have to pay attention, man. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. That's what's happening. That's why you see, because, just thinking this real, why the fuck would the news people care about rappers getting shot?
Yeah, especially like rappers that aren't considered to be like high-level rappers or signed artists. Yeah, it's some type of ritual.
It's a ritual.
It's a ritual.
And the ritual is the mind fuck. The ritual is to psychologically condition you to go back to the way you view black people. Promote this thing in the media everywhere. So now if you're in the downtown district eating and oh my God, a black guy was gunned down 14 times right there. Yeah. We can't go there no more. So that was messing up business. Mm-hmm. Put that shit all over the news everywhere. Have everybody saying rest in peace, FBG Duck. Where was he killed at? Oh, down there by the high-end stores. Mm-hmm. That's bad for business.
Yeah. Yeah.
People gotta pay attention, man. Gotta pay attention.
It's crazy, man.
So I'm trying to tell y'all. See, they use rituals and the common sense aspect to you, but you gotta be able to put the joystick down, because this is Jumanji. Mm-hmm. Put it down, step back, and let the game play on its own. You just be the witness.
Yes.
You bear witness to what's happening. Mm-hmm. Stop trying to play the game. Because in the game, there's winners and losers. You ain't came here to win or lose.
Right.
You came here to experience and excel to a higher level of self. Mm-hmm. But that's for another video. So remember, man, I love y'all. Be careful with your temperament. When you around people, always leave people in a better place than what they was before you came to them. Don't be afraid to tell your brothers and sisters you love them. When you get upset and you super angry, don't say things out your mouth with your tongue that will hurt a person. Mm-hmm. Love that person. I don't care what it is.
Right.
I can go into a place and people that I love, it's nothing that they're going to say or do that's going to ever make me want to hurt or harm them unless it was just something so egregious. But just being angry, no. Love on your people, man. Because you never know when that might be the last time you see them.
How about that?
Don't know. Get out of your fucking ego.
Mm-hmm.
I'm angry, man. Fuck that. And then that person, you walk outside and that person gets murdered or have a heart attack or die. And the last conversation you had with that person was
a negative one.
A negative one.
We take everything for granted, don't we?
Yeah. Because we caught up in the world. We got to know who we are. We're greater than this.
Definitely.
So remember, man, I love my people more than they hate themselves, and I pray to the universal creator most high that these words are enough to inspire you. These words are enough to make you look at yourself in the mirror and make change. These words are enough to make you look at your children and know you have to make change. I hope that when you came here for information, and when you leave here greater than what you was before you came. You leave here edified. Share this information with your children. Share it with your wife. Share it with all your loved ones as they begin to lock these cities down, and we're going to be forced to be around each other again. Practice love. Practice self-love. Look at yourself in the mirror, man. Take inventory of yourself and recognize and realize that you are greater than what they say you are. You are greater than great. You are greater than the greatest. You are something that words can't even pronounce. You are something that the mind can't even conceptualize. You beyond space and time. And when you know that, man, that's when the true humble self comes out. Walk in love, man. Walk in love. Peace.